Hello, welcome to the 12th episode of the Islanders podcast. My name is James.
And my name is Daniel.
My name is Ian.
Welcome to the season finale of season 1 for the Islanders podcast.
Yeah, the final
episode.
one.
The final episode.
Yeah.
Looking forward so
Yeah.
much. Yeah.
So we decided to end the season at episode 12 because we thought we would gauge our performance and maybe look back a little bit every 3 months.
Yeah.
Okay, so probably season 2 will be 12 episodes also.
Yeah, and we also like to do some adjustment for our show design or what we're going to talk about in the show. So maybe you can expect a better show in the next season. You can. Yeah. So today we're going to kind of wrap up of the whole season. We recap the whole season, what we have done in a bit of behind the scene things.
Yeah, we'll talk about the production of the whole show.
Yeah.
A lot of it is actually behind the scenes, and that's
quite an interesting part.
We're going to talk about a lot of things about this show, a lot of the technical things and the difficulties we ran into in the very beginning stages of the show.
Yeah.
And some reflections once we've cleared those tasks. Right.
So, okay, let's start with the origin point of our whole podcast. So,
so the origin story of our podcast, maybe.
Yeah. Actually, it's James who just asked both Daniel and me to join this. To ask if we want to start a podcast and do some maybe English learning or stuff. So, we have talked about this in the pilot episode, right?
A little bit.
I
don't think I shared the whole story in the pilot. So now I'm going to share the story.
Yeah.
So right before this podcast started, we started in the summertime of 2019. And in 2019, in springtime in 2019, and also in the late 2018, we had like an English workshop every week with Daniel, me and Daniel. And then we organized a group of students, at the library. Some classmates, some friends, and then we wanted to improve our English, mostly speaking ability and also vocabulary, right?
Yes.
So we organized this meeting every week, every Wednesday at the library, and then we would choose
a discussion room.
Yeah, we would choose magazines like Times magazines or a lot of other magazines or like TED Talks, and then we had a host every week, and then everybody would discuss the article or the video, right? And then we would ask questions and have a lot of discussions. But sadly, at the very late stages of this book club, many people didn't come,
Yeah.
Excuses.
Midterm comes.
So because everybody was very busy, and so only me and Daniel came every week.
So lonely.
And so we just read our own books, right? We didn't discuss too much, right?
Yes. So that shows that's a part I haven't been through with you.
Yeah.
So I think at that part you kind of feel in your heart that the consistency problem is really the pain point of the whole thing.
Yeah, it's a very pain.
Yeah.
So I think I had a bit of PTSD concerning consistency. Okay. So I started this show in summertime in August.
Yeah.
So I asked Daniel and Yen to join me in making this show. Partly because I wanted to improve my own English speaking ability.
Yes.
Right, and a lot of the problems occurred during our book club was that when people answer the questions the host asked, it's still like a very
awkward, right?
Yeah, it's still very awkward, and it's like
it's kind of like
only a response to the answer to the question, right? And not coming from their own brain.
Conversation. It's not
actually
into
they prepare the answer beforehand, right?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It's like
So how can they prepare their answer beforehand?
Because the host will ask everyone the same questions. So
they will have a question list for the host
so people would think
everyone.
about this question
and
then maybe write something down, and then that way,
so it's not immediate feedback, right? It's they can write it beforehand and just present it out.
So
and just read what he or she had written.
Yeah. And so a lot of the problem comes from not being able to give immediate feedback in English, right?
Yeah.
It's actually like TOEFL speaking test.
yeah.
It's not natural.
It's not natural.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that will be very attractive to me if at that time.
So it's like going to
club.
cram school. It's like going to cram school for me.
Yeah. So gradually, people like to join the book club. It's just doesn't feel right.
It doesn't feel natural. You know, or like very normal for people learning to speak
and there's
English.
no touching point in it. It's a kind of a paperwork, right? More like a paperwork. So actually
also it's so short, right? So people
so short.
You know, they only think about 1 or 2 sentences.
Yeah.
And sometimes they just need to think for a very long time before they come up with answers.
It's not intense enough.
Yeah, so that is not intensive enough.
Yeah.
So I came up with this idea mid-July, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, to maybe start a podcast, but it was such there was a lot of uncertainty.
Yeah, actually, I think
surrounding this because
you have talked with me about this topic before. I think a month before you started to really onto this thing and ask us if we want to join. We have talked about this in the chat.
Yeah, because there was so much uncertainty surrounding this because you don't know if this works, right?
Yeah, that's true.
You don't know if this will work.
It takes a lot of preparation.
Yeah, and a lot of uncertainty, right?
Actually, before the first episode, before you asked me to be one of the hosts, I was not a podcast listener.
And me too. No, I was a long-time podcast listener.
Yeah.
But I didn't know if I could do it.
Yeah.
Before August, right?
Yeah. I've been listening to podcasts for a long time before we started this. Mm-hmm. But I've never thought of trying to do something about hosting my show on your own podcast.
Yeah.
But like in my dorm, we actually have a kind of radio station for maybe we'll do the radio station will have a broadcast maybe.
Yeah.
1 month or 2 months kind of there's an event or something. So I've always have a idea that maybe I could try to host in that radio, and I always like to kind of host in Taiwanese radio since I'm not really fluent in Taiwanese speaking, so I've always liked to try this, and also maybe Japanese or something. So it's kind of that's a vague idea for me at that time. But I've never thought of really doing it. But since at that time you asked me about doing an English podcast,
I think we didn't think about it a lot, right? We just sort of just did it.
Did it, yeah.
And so we're grateful that we did it because a lot of stuff that came naturally actually after we decided to do it, right?
Yeah, I think the intensive part of the podcast will be. During the making process of the podcast would be kind of a lot of supplements to our abilities or skills.
True.
Yeah.
And so we were very lucky in the beginning that I already had a machine sort of laying around.
That's very lucky.
You know, because I used
the audio interface for you.
I used to play guitar, right? So I used to play electric guitar. And so I used to plug it into my interface, into my computer to record some stuff.
Yeah.
So I had this interface laying around. So it was an old interface, okay? It only had 2 inputs.
The 2i2.
Yeah, and then so we had 2 mics in the beginning. And then the 3 of us shared 2 mics.
In the first episode, the pilot episode.
In the pilot episode. And we also didn't have mic stands at the time. We didn't have boom arms at the time.
We're just holding the mics.
Yeah, we're holding the mics. And
exchange them.
You know, exchanging them with the other hosts.
And the memory comes up in my mind now that I was looking forward to kind of having some hints or implications to Daniel that if you can I'm going to take over your microphone or not. So I think it's very.
There was a lot of confusion in the beginning.
And I think it's a thrilling experience. I've never done this before, and I feel very nervous and anxious. But I want to just speak something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we recorded the first pilot episode in Daniel's room. And so we were originally thinking that we would do 15 minutes. Okay, 40 minutes or 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And we see if we can,
manage it.
Walk the distance. Yeah. Okay. So we did. So we did 15 minutes in the first episode.
I think it's quite good. And for beginners.
We actually surprised ourselves that we could actually, record this length, recording this length of time.
English conversation in 50 minutes. Yeah, that's hard to imagine.
And it was okay, I think. The structure was a little bit off, and
But we
were a little bit shy.
Yeah.
First of all, and the audio quality was poor, but we gradually improved on that. I think a lot.
Yeah.
In the
with lots of money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, at that time, three of us just stood shoulder by shoulder in front of Daniel's desk.
Yeah.
The desk is for one person. So it's a very, I think, at that time we're, it's summer, right? So it's kind of hot and we're just sharing our mics together and it's kind of destitute or very, more miserable comparing to the setup we have now. We're now sitting in James' home studio and having mic stands, having lights, having a very wide workbench just in front of us.
So I would say all these stuff came with
money.
Actually started doing this podcast.
Yes, it was like a Stone Age.
Yeah.
Episode.
Yeah, it's quite an evolution process.
I want to share the date. Date with you.
Okay,
so
the date.
The pilot episode we recorded at August 14th.
Wow.
2019, right? That's about 2 months ago. Only 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And after we recorded the first episode, I sold the old audio interface. And then I bought this new audio interface with four mic inputs.
Oh, great.
So we spent about a
little
quite
money,
quite a bit of money
to
buy this new audio interface and also all these boom arms and new microphones.
Yeah.
Only after doing the pilot episode. So we were fully committed in the very beginning.
Yeah.
And then in the first episode, the second one we did, we called it the first episode.
Yeah.
And we went to the library and we did it. And we did 70 minutes on the topic, right?
Yeah, it's quite
an impressive journey.
Actually, it's quite magic. It's quite magical for me. We're now looking. Three of us are looking at a list I've been organized about for the 11, 12 episodes we have had in the 2 months.
Yeah,
it's only 2 months, 60 or so days, and we have to a very great step just forward. So yeah. And all of the times we can, all the times the record time is over, maybe over 6 or even 10 hours. Yeah, and actually we're in this 2 months we spent not only in maybe 6 or 10 hours of the show, we actually spent more, about twice of that amount of time. So.
To prepare for it.
So all these times were used in studying English. We can say study English.
Right.
So that's I think that's the reason why the English, the conversation now it's
much better than what
you started
with, right?
The first 2 episodes. Yeah, it's a very very great. Very, very great improvement, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, I think in these 2 months I speak more English than the rest of my life.
Yeah. I also said that to other people also.
Yeah.
So I would divide this into a couple of periods, right?
Yeah.
So the first one, the 0 episode, was the first period, and then we upgraded. We did our first equipment upgrade, and by I think episode 3 or episode 4, we changed the recording software.
Yeah.
So originally we used Ableton, which is a fully
standard.
Yeah, fully made music making machine. It's called DAW, right? Digital Audio Workface for workstation. Yeah, for maybe EDM production.
Yeah, actually, I've never heard about all these terminologies before. I've just jumped into this. I've never heard about what is audio interface. DAW. What's that shit?
Yeah.
I even didn't know about what is the thicker plug. What is it called? It's a 6.3 millimeter
quarter-inch plug.
Yeah, I've never heard about it. Yeah.
So I've been part of this for a long time because my background in playing electric guitar. So a lot of this I knew beforehand, but still I struggled with it in the beginning. Like in the beginning, we had a lot of static in our voice,
the noises,
sounds. Yeah, the noises was really bad, and a lot of the echo actually. So later on, we switched to Audition by Adobe.
Yeah.
and it was much better. It is not a complete digital audio workstation because you cannot edit MIDI and stuff, but it's very suitable for recording vocals.
Yeah, the
recording
podcast making,
podcast
especially.
making. Yeah.
I think you said you have a script or something. It's just for podcasts, right?
Oh yeah, it's automated. I have it's like a standard, right?
Yeah.
It's like a.
More like a
It's
filter,
like a template.
right?
Oh, it's like a
template.
template.
Yeah, template. Yeah.
Yeah, so I have James, and the track, your track, and Daniel's track.
Daniel's track.
And then so when we plug in our stuff and we are
Everything
good to
works.
go.
Yeah.
So before using Audition, do you do some research about what kind of software do other podcasters use?
Oh yes, I did a little bit of research on that, but because our audio interface came with
a software,
Ableton
Ableton software. It's an industry standard.
Yeah, so we just used it in the beginning, but it was bad at getting noise out, denoising our sound. So now we switched to
maybe for light users.
Audition,
there's too many features and functions for them. For
so
beginners
for
to
our
use.
purpose, Audition is the best.
Yeah,
I really like it. Yeah,
that's really great. So how about the next? You said the next stage of our.
The next stage was maybe upgrading our microphones, right?
Yeah,
we changed a couple of microphones.
Yeah.
And actually, the microphones we use now are just very cheap dynamic microphones. It's not that expensive, right?
Not the condenser one with.
Yeah, it's not condenser. Condenser are bad for our purpose because our environment is a little bit noisy.
Yeah.
So condensers are bad for our application.
Yeah.
So for those who want to try doing podcasts, I would really recommend dynamic microphones. They provide very decent audio quality. If you're not an audiophile, you don't have a problem with this voice, and it's easy to denoise all of the sounds, the unwanted sounds.
And it's quite funny that the microphone that we used previously is just now in my dorm, and we're using for our radio recording that I've mentioned about in our dorms.
Oh, okay. So they use that now.
They no that project has been
canceled.
Suspended. I would say maybe suspended for a while. So now it's they use your mic. They use those mics to sing karaoke.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really
quite interesting. Yeah, it's a funny.
Do you like the mics?
Yeah. Actually, I'm not so quite good at kind of
listening to the differences of audio quality.
I'm not.
I would say it doesn't matter that much. Because different people use different headphones.
Yeah,
and it really has to do with like the headphones you use and the microphone you use and all that hardware stuff.
Yeah,
and I think our audio quality is at least
clear. Yeah, it's clear.
It's at least clear and not fuzzy or anything, and it's okay to listen to. Yeah.
And then we upgrade our mics, and then the studio, right?
We also upgraded our cables.
Yeah. The XLR one.
Yeah, so we went from a 1/4-inch to XLR, so we have a more like a noiseless signal to our computer. Yeah.
And that's too technical. Maybe a bit too technical.
Maybe a little bit boring for you.
Yeah.
The other update I wanted to talk about was we got a new studio.
Yeah.
So after episode 7, before episode 7, we used to carry all our equipment in like a magician's box.
Yeah.
And then we would carry it to the library or carry it to anywhere we wanted to record. Because every week was different, right?
We're like the nomad podcasters, right?
Yeah. So
it's
sometimes
quite interesting. Yeah.
We recorded in Daniel's room, and sometimes we recorded in the library because my old room was very messy and didn't have a lot of space for all of us to sit together.
Yeah. And at that time, we invited Crystal and also Jin.
Yeah.
At the previous episode,
they were all in the library, recorded in the library.
So we were all classmates, so we would go to libraries and borrow the
discussion room.
Yeah. So actually, we have kind of a courageous idea of maybe we can take all these equipments maybe to Taipei or maybe to other cities to interview other people.
So we still can.
We still can't do that. Yeah.
Which is, I think, is a very good thing for us because all of our equipment can be packed into this suitcase.
Yeah,
and also the microphones.
Handbag.
Because the microphones are not that susceptible to environment, so we can record basically anywhere.
Yeah, so very quite interesting.
Yeah, so if we want to interview like
maybe we could try
guests, we could try in their
or maybe we can try
sometime
maybe outdoors or something.
Yeah,
we can do a lot of different things if we have a portable device equipment. Yeah,
that is something I would want to try also. So after like episode 7, we were a little bit tired of going to places every week.
Yeah,
and organizing, to borrow the room every week.
Yeah.
So we decided to
roll that in.
So I also got a little bit of money, and I decided to renovate my room.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got rid of my old desk, and I put a bigger, much larger desk
here.
It's much more neat and tidy now.
Yeah, actually, it's an IKEA workbench.
Yeah, it's quite cheap.
Yeah.
But it's very big, and it's suitable for all of us to use.
Yeah,
so now we have
very
great recording studio.
Yeah,
I think it's very great for us.
Very great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that what I would think is the last big update of season 1. So season 2, maybe our equipment, our hardware are much more stable.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll try to upgrade our content.
Yeah.
Focus
more on performance. And since our skill and our experience of accumulating throughout this,
you can feel yourself grow. Right?
Yes.
You feel like a little bit like there's a lot of change between now and in the very early stages of our podcast.
Yeah, and in the first few episodes we've recorded. So, why we choose this format to record for about one and half an hour, about 90 minutes or so, is that because it's popular. Most of the podcasters do this, and we just separate into different sections. We talk about different things. We talk about shit, and record them. So that's just a popular format. So we just take this as our kind of the first trial.
I think a lot of it has to do with the podcast that I listen to, right?
Yeah.
So because I currently am, and I will be the executive producer for the show.
I will be.
Yeah. So
that's kind of nice.
I think my influence is a lot. Means a lot in making this podcast. So this is something also I want to maybe tweak a little bit. Also, I want to share with you, is because this is the content that I listen to.
Yeah.
Right. This is the kind of podcast length that I normally listen to. So I put it into my own podcast, right?
Like for me, I listen to very different format podcasts. So I like shorter shows, and maybe if you heard of maybe Google Method podcast or something, it's about more like interviewing or discussing about a simple question. So most of them won't be about more than 20 minutes or 30 minutes. Most of them are in this range. So at first, I've heard that we're going to record a 50 or maybe 90 minutes podcast.
I was, you're a little bit scared, right?
Scared. Wow, that's so long. Can I speak English so fluent continuously throughout the whole process? I'm still quite scared.
At first, I think maybe we can last more than 20 minutes.
Well, that's quite scary. Yeah, but now
we can maybe have longer lengths.
Yeah.
And,
but maybe it's time for us to take more consideration.
This is something I want to change also because I can't always stay in my comfort zone. Right?
Yeah. Let's try something different.
Yeah. So we have a project going on, which we will try to execute as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
To push it on YouTube. So we will try that, and also continue this. The regular programming that you expect from us every week, right? Yeah, so we were talking about this is the end of season 1, the season finale, but season 2 will continue a week later, okay? So we will take a break after this week. We'll take a week off, and then next week we'll continue with season 2.
Yeah, so
make
sure to follow us carefully.
Yeah, actually, we're already in the season 2 production phase,
now,
right?
Yeah.
So it's actually if you do podcasts, we always like to have a buffer. Maybe.
Do
so this was maybe
beforehand.
This was recorded like 2 weeks before you heard it or something. And then we have this time to prepare for all the scheduling to work.
Scheduling to work.
And also, if something comes up, we have time to
adjust
to
especially for midterm.
Midterm.
Yeah,
sometimes for midterm.
We're still college students.
Yeah, but it's more. like I have midterm this week, but it doesn't
matter
that much, I think, because it doesn't take much time for us.
Get used to the whole process of doing this. It will be kind of more relaxed and get into a flow of
and I think one night every week is all right.
It's all right.
I guess
it's good. Yeah,
and because consistency was such a
big problem,
big deal for us. So we wanted to do this every week. Like we could lower the workload, but we wish to continue this every week, right? Yeah.
Okay, so is there anything that Daniel and James you want to make anything better for our podcast? The most thing you want to change it, or you want to try some new things? Is there any ideas for you like to talk about?
Maybe the content and the format. I think.
Content. So
so do you have any any thoughts on that on the content format?
Currently, our content focus on maybe interviewing and some topic we have already known about it.
Yeah.
So maybe in the future we can talk something that maybe we are not familiar with, but is worth
talk about. Right?
Yes, talk about.
Okay. Like what?
Like Ian says that maybe we can talk about our thinking process.
Oh, okay. Oh. Yeah. So I think we'll talk about a little bit more personal stuff, right?
Yes, personal stuff.
That is something I wish to talk about. In season 1, I think the best episodes were the one that were deeply personal to us, right?
Yeah.
So we have more to bring to the table if it was something related
and more
to
stories to
stuff.
share, more thoughts to share.
Yeah, and also it's really opinion oriented.
That's
right. So you have a lot of opinions on this matter, and therefore you can produce better content, right?
Yeah.
So like I would say like the best like the more personal ones, like the pilot episode.
Yeah.
Or like
maybe
like the 8th episode, friendship episode.
I'll be there for you.
Or like the 7th episode where we're talking about Daniel's jokes.
Yeah.
It's
quite
actually
interesting.
It's actually better, I think.
Yeah.
We had more to talk about, and we were thinking like, oh, we only have an hour to record a show. We wanted to talk about a lot more.
Yeah. It's somewhat it's kind of you're kind of relating your personal life, your personal profile into this whole show. You're kind of showing yourself.
Yeah,
maybe
so that
in some degree. Yeah,
I think it's a much better way
for you
to do this. Yeah,
yeah, that's very great. So how about you? How about you? What did you think about James? What do you think about? Is there something you want to change, or do you want to do in the new season?
So I want to do more personal stuff.
Oh yeah.
So this season we only had like pilot or 178, 078, and maybe this one.
About a third.
Yeah. So I wanted to make it more like half, or more than half.
Yeah.
Because also it ties into the podcast that I listen to. It's deeply personal, and this is the stuff I wanted to talk about, and I'm interested in hearing myself.
Yeah.
So this is what I want to do.
Sometimes your own voice needed to be kind of reflected from other media or something. Yeah. It's not quite easy to face maybe your own mind or your own.
Well, yeah, we were talking about this last week. It's to be more honest to yourself. And to open up to people. It's healthier this way. And so hopefully this show can be like something like therapy, can be therapeutic to all three of us, and to encourage you to maybe share your emotions, and to make sure this is a safe place, and that you can also build character through this process, right?
Yeah, but like for me, I always wish to try some kind of more groundbreaking changes on the ideas of our show, the concepts of the recording and listening process, the thing of media. So the idea that I'm the new show planning I'm personally going through now is about maybe I would like to try to do some arguing in the show, just kind of the setup arguing or something. I like
debating, maybe.
Debating more, adding more tension into the process of recording this show. So it's not only that we are kind of cozily sharing or sharing our daily lives, just like daily talk. It's more like I would like everyone to feel that there's a lot other possibilities
to feel some raw emotion, maybe.
Yeah, and through the record and listening process. And I think
spark some discussion.
Yeah.
That's what we're going for.
We're going for.
Yeah,
that's true.
So we want to tease the new show a little bit. Then I'll talk about a little bit about new show. Okay.
Okay.
So the new show will be in format about 10 minutes long, and we want to make it shorter, so that more people can listen to it, and it's easier to finish the whole episode. And we want to do like a question every week, right?
Yeah.
We want to do like a controversial title.
Yeah.
Or maybe like a philosophical
yeah.
question. I struggle with long words. The words with long syllables, where I struggle with them.
The non-native problem.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll continue. So maybe 10 to 15 minutes a week. Make it easier to follow.
Yeah.
To finish.
Yeah.
And we want to maybe discuss, to spread our ideas in this small time.
Yeah.
To talk about very dangerous subjects or even controversial, right?
And actually, I always think that sometimes some argue or fights are not for the person who are in the fight or argue. It's for the one who
or listening
right? Or looking over
Yeah.
the whole process, and they will get new insights and ideas with the harsh debates during the harsh debates, and they will find, well, that's what he or she cares,
Yeah.
and that's not. And I think that makes difference in
Yeah.
in how to understand what people are thinking about and understand how other people think about things, their opinions, how they form their ideas, form their arguments. Yeah. I think it's quite interesting. And also once everybody who are listening to this podcast maybe listen to our new show,
Yeah.
can
Hopefully.
hopefully, and
You can feel our
real
emotions.
and also you can kind of take this as an example for your own life, that debating or arguing on some problem is not. It's okay for
It's helpful,
discussing. It's
actually.
helpful. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's helpful. It's not a bad thing to having an argue with other people. Maybe, in some point. Yeah, maybe. That's the thing. What we want to try.
That on its own, it's an argument.
Yeah.
That can be talked about.
Yeah.
We are all from similar. We all have similar background.
Yeah, but actually we have very different. Sometimes we have very different views on things. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, and actually it's great to talk about that, and we hope that you can also interact with us more. We want to hear feedback
To break our echo chamber.
So, because for this kind of podcast, it's hard for us to make you listen the whole show, right?
Yeah.
Because we're not that interesting, to be honest.
Yeah,
And,
that's true. That's really true.
Yeah, we have to be honest with ourselves.
In fact, our mindset is that we're taking all these times to practice our own English skills.
Yeah. So we are honing our own skills, and it doesn't matter if you listen to this one, but we hope to maybe create a show that is format is very different from this one.
Yeah.
But what you get is actually quite similar. Okay.
Yeah.
So the tone of our sounds, the voices of our own are very similar. It is edited in a very similar fashion, just much shorter, and maybe like a test sample for you to listen
try,
to.
yeah.
And also we
Like
want you to really interact with us. We want to get feedback from you to maybe improve our show more, Yeah. And maybe lure you into the main show,
Yes, it's actually a bet.
A bait. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bait.
I like baits. Yeah.
Just buy it.
Okay.
But this show will only be on YouTube. So this is part of our strategy. I mean, we don't even know what we're doing right now, but
we're just trying
our
everything.
best. And
yeah.
actually, before this podcast, we were in a business meeting, sort of. Because we want to make this as serious as possible.
Yeah.
So we are actually really doing this
And
for real.
Consistency. Yeah.
And we are not just fooling around.
Yeah.
And we actually we threw money into this thing. So we actually expect something from it. Yeah. So we're going to take a short break right now.
Okay.
And when we come back from the break, we'll talk about maybe the favorite episodes of everybody.
Okay.
And also some reflections and future plans. And we also have another plan we wanted to talk about later.
Yeah, later.
After the break. So we'll see you later.
See you.
Hello, welcome back.
Hi.
Hello. So in this section, we wanted to talk about the episode that we liked the most.
Yeah.
Right.
We like the most.
And also the episode that is our least favorite.
Yeah. I say at some points maybe recording podcasts, and sometimes we'll get not so comfortable for.
Yeah, I think it's not it's not all good.
All good.
You know, sometimes you are maybe not in the situation that much, or maybe you don't feel well or something.
Yeah.
So it's all part of the podcast.
So who go first?
Do you want to go first, Daniel?
Okay.
Yeah. So you go first.
Well, actually, I don't really have the least favorite episode.
Okay.
But my favorite episode maybe would be the episode.
Eighth episode. Okay. So the one about friendship, right?
Yeah, friendship.
So do you want to pinpoint what you like about it?
Like you said, it's personal.
It's personal, yeah.
It's our story, so we have lots of things to share with our audience.
Yeah.
While in other episodes, like the episode about the ghost monks, it's more like a lecture.
Knowledge lecture.
Yeah, more like talking about a topic or something.
You have to prepare so much knowledge and material beforehand.
Yeah. It's still kind of separated from our person.
Yes.
Our personality.
Yeah. And I would say also, the 8th episode is at a point our hardware and our software maturity, is at a good
balance point. Yeah.
And then we are able to express ourselves clearly and speak a lot about the topic, right? So that is also why I really like that episode.
Yeah. That's really great.
How about you?
Yeah. For me, I would say the favorite one is also the 8th episode.
Okay.
But since both of you think it's very good, so I'm going to the second favorite.
Oh, you like the second one?
So I'm going to the second favorite. So I think the second favorite of the all episodes maybe I would say it's a scriptless one.
Okay.
Yeah. I think at that time we're trying to do something different in our show design for format or our content. So
actually, I would say it's a turning point for us because before that, all of our content were more or less scripted. More or less, a little bit. We prepared for it, a lot of it beforehand.
Yeah.
But after that episode, we actually got more free with our titles.
It's a break point. Release our.
And also, we just decided to wing it at the point. Yeah.
And it's kind of a paradigm shift. So we always thought that that we have to script beforehand so that the show recording can go smoothly and without any problem. But actually, we can do after that the scriptless episode. We found out that we can just relax and talk shit.
Yeah. That's nice.
And actually, no one cares. For us, in this circumstances, in this environment, just no one cares. We're just recording the things we're talking about.
True.
Yeah. So, I think after that episode, I would say, Daniel's point is really great. It's released.
We have like more freedom.
More freedom to talk about different things, different aspect, or a lot of different.
It feels nicer.
Feels more nicer.
Like a pressure, more lower pressure, or other.
Yeah. Less stressful, and also that's a second favorite, I would say, and I think the most uncomfortable one maybe I say the orientation, the 5th episode. It's about the orientation camp of our maybe
for the freshmen.
Yeah, and actually that is a special episode that we record that episode in
in another place.
In our
we had
room
another meeting room. Yeah, and it was recorded. When we recorded that, we also recorded Spooktober.
Yeah. So I remember that at that time we tried kind of 2 or 3 times over.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah, so, we did a lot of tries, right?
And I feel I just it's just not feel smooth or feel.
We weren't in the moment.
We're not in the moment.
And that day.
Yeah, and actually that episode would, because it is scripted. It's the 5th episode after the scriptless one, but actually it's scripted. We have scripted beforehand since the 4th and 5th episode are recorded together. So we script that, and I don't think we script that very well, and also
this is quite a bit of mess in the structure. But when we listened to it in post, we actually thought it was
it's okay.
All right. It's pretty good.
It's
but
it's a process.
The recording process was quite long. And not
that comfortable for me personally.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so how about you?
Both of you took my favorite. My favorite was 8. And then you took it, and then my favorite was 4, and then somebody took it again. So my favorite episode will be this current one episode.
Okay.
Because we are now, finishing up season 1.
Yeah, the 1.
And I feel like we've done something together,
Yeah.
Looking back at all these episodes, it
like
feels quite good. Yeah, it feels quite good, and I'm really excited for season 2 and all the exciting things that come with it. Right.
That's true.
Yeah. I also really like all the ones with guests,
Yeah.
Because you can learn a lot from them. And I think sometimes to put yourself in like a more uncomfortable situation.
Yeah, it's a challenge, right?
It's better as to grow up as a host, you know.
And actually, all the guests we invited are not native in English. So actually we always have a little bit worry about how they will perform in English conversation, right?
Yeah.
So it's fortunately we don't face the problem that
we actually got really good guests.
Yeah, we are very good guests. Yeah,
in all these 4 guests.
Yeah, and they share very very fascinating aspect, very fascinating viewpoints. In their, opinion. So that's very great.
Very interesting people, I would say.
Yeah.
Like I learned a lot about them, and it makes me think a lot about myself also. Yeah,
and they're just around us. So
they're like normal
we have
people,
lots of
right?
amazing around
friends,
us, everyone, everywhere. Yeah.
I used to want to learn about stories about everybody. Everybody has like very cool stories, I think.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So does any episode have special meaning to you?
Meanings.
Special meaning?
I would actually say like the first one, like the pilot episode and the first episode we recorded in the library with new equipment.
Because it's a beginning.
It's a brand new.
Yeah, that means a lot to me because it's a new chapter.
Yeah.
And I really can't believe that we have come so far, even though we haven't amassed any fans or something.
Yeah.
But it's something that I'm proud to present. Yeah.
And it's quite. Yeah, it's quite.
And to see the personal growth of all 3 of us is great,
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm. You can see,
Yeah, it's quite incredible. Recollecting my memory about the first episode.
Yeah, it seems like 2 months is not that long, but actually it seems very, like a long time.
Long time. If comparing the environments we have now
and the things we've done during these 2 months, it's very good. It's very good.
Yeah, it's a great leap, let's say.
Yeah. It's the effort of all 3 of us. I think.
Yes, in fact, recording all this episode gave me a chance to reflect on myself and think of something I never think of before. Yeah,
a lot of the episodes also makes me,
just
think
pushed
about
ourselves to think about other things, stuff.
I would like to continue this in season 2, to make it like I said, more personal.
Yeah.
And therapeutic.
Mm-hmm. Very great.
So we're planning on doing a workshop also.
So that's the new plan we're talking about. The last section.
Because we are now like 2 or 3 weeks before our schedule. Earlier of our schedule.
So actually have a break
time. After we will actually start recording season 2 next week.
Yeah.
And so we have a bit of time in November to maybe organize a workshop event.
Yes. And that idea comes from, I think it's the the episode you're going to heard, maybe you have
maybe episode 10. I think.
So
I think tomorrow.
So that talk we talked with Minnie, and at that time we just came out with an idea of if we can maybe ask some like radio anchor, radio host,
show host,
or maybe show host, and maybe some anchors or maybe some reporters, maybe. So if they can share their skills and experience on maybe hosting and interviewing people, or some useful skills for us, and also we can ask maybe students or everyone that interested in this topic to join our workshop. And we can build some connections between each other and know about why they want to join, why they want to do these things, and also just promote our podcast. They're very great for
that's
us.
really
Make
nice.
them to subscribe.
They're making a network or community for us, for ourselves.
I think it's very important to get to know some of the other podcasters or
and
maybe radio show hosts.
Maybe we'll meet some creators, right?
So that's what I'm excited about.
Yeah.
Actually, originally this episode I wanted to interview somebody like maybe from the YouTube space.
Originally.
We were talking about this. But we thought we weren't mature enough right now. To interview somebody of that caliber. So we wanted to really hone our skills a little bit more, and maybe in the end of season 2, maybe we can get somebody cool on our show, right? Not that the guests we had are not cool. I mean, maybe somebody who is in this industry, or like maybe somebody who has established themselves
professional
in this industry.
And actually, I think there's some insights in the process of making all the things by yourself. So maybe last week I just watched a video that's made from ICRT. Is the host Joseph? He's interviewing Joan Baba. She's a singer from Taiwan. So I just watched the whole interview process, and wow, he's such a pro, and I'll be amazed by
he's so good at
his rhythm controlling, and how he talks, how he just get control in the whole scene.
And actually, talking about that, I'm very grateful that we are living in this era, that you can actually, with a little bit of money, like relatively small amount of money, you can create your own show, right?
Like this.
If you were to make a show in the 90s or 80s, you would have to do it the traditional way. You would have to get a job at a radio station or that and all that. But now we're grateful that we can, we don't have any criteria. We can do this ourselves and learn this way.
10 years ago, it's very hard for them to get all these equipment and get it onto the internet. At that time, we don't have Spotify. Right? We don't have YouTube.
That's very great.
Wow, that's very great for living in this era.
Well, I think the technique and the equipment is still the high treasure.
Yeah, that's cool. That's true for So actually, we're now listening. James playing a playlist.
Today, I play a playlist every week. For when we are doing this podcast. And I should try to choose good songs. In the previous weeks, we listened to some jazz. And today we listened to like a very good playlist that I made myself. It's all like Taiwanese songs. Okay, so it's not in Taiwanese, but it's made by people from Taiwan. Okay, and I really like the guitars. And the melodies of these songs, and some are KDZ classics. From very established singer right now. Called Wu Bai. And he has a band called China Blue.
He's one of my favorite singers.
He's also one of my favorite singers, and also favorite guitarist.
Yeah, wow,
he's so good at guitar. It's like classic rock. And I really enjoy his content, so I share with my friends over here at this podcast table. And you also can check it out on your own. So on this topic, maybe we want to listen to some of our previous episodes.
Okay.
Do you want to do
Yeah.
Like a reaction.
It's like a random reaction. On our previous episode. You just select it randomly.
Yeah, but I don't know how I would cut it. I will edit it in the final podcast. Maybe I don't know how to edit this.
Just improvise. Improvise everything. Yeah.
I'm gonna play a few clips for you, maybe.
Okay.
So we start with the pilot episode. Okay. So is it?
Wow.
Oh, look, the sound quality.
Noise.
The static noise.
It's awful, right?
Yeah. That's correct.
Yeah.
Noise is really terrible.
The noise is really loud. We were playing the first episode, the pilot episode, and we found out that the static noise is very bad, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and our voices actually didn't change that much.
Yeah,
but you could
just
sense
2 months,
the shyness in our voice. Yeah, and you can't really use the language well.
Yeah, the standard problem.
Now,
I just worked very hard during the whole process.
Yeah, we also had a lot of work to do since the first pilot episode.
Yeah,
but it's also still one of my favorites because it's
iconic.
It's very important for So we have also been on schedule for like 2 months. Yeah, we post every Wednesday. The reason why we post every Wednesday is because our group meeting was on Wednesday.
Yeah.
So that's why we decided to do Wednesday, and we normally record on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
So this one was with Crystal.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, the echo is also very,
Wow.
Look at the echo right here.
Listen to the voice of Crystal.
It might be because of the room.
Yeah, the room was quite big.
Yeah.
And also we weren't experienced with the digital audio workstation. Yeah. And also we had a little bit of the problem with the 9th episode.
Yeah.
With Tiffany, right?
Yeah.
So our microphone was a little bit broken. One of our mics were broken, so we used the Blue Yeti.
Yeah, another condenser mic,
which I won't recommend to anybody from now on. I sold it.
Yeah,
but it was so echoey, and the clocks didn't match. Like, okay, that's
a bit too
much. Okay, but you can see the better audio quality.
Yeah.
Okay, it's much better.
Wow,
it's much better, right?
It's much better.
Yeah.
The voice is very clear.
Yeah, so
the tone is really different from.
Yeah,
her tone is really different from ours.
It's much clearer though, right?
Yeah, it's much clearer
compared to our
but it's not
works.
Integrated. So
everybody's voice was all over the place.
Yeah. There's not. It's a bit messy, I'll say.
Yeah, but we also got new mics for episode 10 and 11, which were the longest episode we recorded.
Yeah. Okay.
Because we did 2 hours.
2 hours. Wow.
With Minnie.
With Minnie, and she just stayed for us till 12 o'clock.
So originally we were planned to do 1 episode with her.
Yeah.
But it got so long that we did 2 episodes.
Yeah. That also means there's a lot of things to share for her. Yeah.
Yeah, she did so much.
She did so much stuff,
and you really couldn't run out of stuff.
It's really admirable.
About.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is such a long journey, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe we can listen to. We're going to play our.
Do you want to listen to another one?
Yeah, maybe you can randomly pick another. Maybe Jin's, yeah.
But the problem is they can't listen to this in the editing.
Because
I cannot cut up the pieces. Yeah, it's hard.
To manage.
Anyways, that's our reflection maybe on some of the previous works.
Yeah.
And a big part of this podcast is I wanted to make it less nervous for all of us. We don't have to maybe perform at the highest capacity all the time. It's just like talking to your friend.
Oh.
Yeah, and hopefully...
Yeah, but actually, you're talking to a mic. You
realize that. But it feels like talking to a friend.
Yeah. And they're just speaking just around you. I'm listening to the feedback from our mics. So.
Yes, to relax. In most episodes, I was drinking beers.
Yeah, we want it to be as natural as possible.
Yeah.
So we hopefully really want to convey this great positive energy.
Yeah, and also I encourage everyone who like to try to do this kind of things, because it's very special. It's a special experience that if you have the kind of the suitable equipment, you can get the feeling that your friends are talking right beside your ears, and
it's not that expensive.
Actually,
if you don't want to, because we have like a sort of an issue over here.
Yes.
We got so many people. Right? We have 3 people, and with guests that's 4.
Yeah.
So we need 4 mic preamps. Okay, that's a little bit nerdy, but
but if you are
if
you're
only
going to
like
record
1
yourself,
or 2 people,
it's not a big deal.
Much easier.
Right? It's much easier.
Yeah, and the mics are so great at this price point.
Yeah,
right?
and like I've got a recorder, a portable recorder, and it's also it's very good suitable for doing this kind of thing. And
I would say if you feel like your English is stuck at a point, especially here in Taiwan, you don't get a chance to
I think it's not the issue. Only one issue
people,
in Taiwan.
Really.
It's in every non-native country. Right?
Yeah. So
if you want to
maybe
practice English, you have the.
You can. This is a very good, very effective way. I would say, like the most effective I have tried.
It's true all the time. And actually, it's a bit different from if you have to practice conversation with your English with your friends. It's quite different because you're not talking to them directly.
And it also has the added benefits of improving your hosting skills and confidence building. I would say that are the best byproducts of this
experience.
And also you learn a little bit of audio editing. And creative process, right? All in all, it's very great. It was a great journey. It was a great 2 months. And hopefully there are a lot of 2 months to come. Okay.
2 months after 2 months.
Yeah.
Season after season. Yeah, that's great.
So cheers to a great season 1. And we'll see you in season 2.
Yeah.
Along with maybe a new show.
Grab some beer. We have to cheers.
Okay. We're going to take a break for a week, but we'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
Yeah.
Don't miss us too much.
See you next week. Yeah. And again, we want to encourage you to follow us on social media. We're starting a new Twitter. Yeah. We'll let you know about
that. Yeah.
And we're still doing our Instagram and Facebook. And also subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you can find us.
Everywhere.
And really we want you to still interact with us, okay?
Yeah. Just play it when you do chores. Just play it when you get up in the morning. You have nothing to do. Just play it.
I know it's harder to play it on YouTube. Maybe Spotify. Maybe Apple Podcasts. Can we interest you in that? Yeah. And we also try to make it more accessible on YouTube for you too. Okay?
Yeah.
And that's about it. We're happy that you're on this journey with us. And we'll continue to explore. Okay?
Yeah. Explore.
So we'll see you next week.
Okay, see you.
Bye.
See you.
Bye-bye.